Chris D'Elia is a certified creep, and this dude doesn't get called out enough for being the dirtbag that he really is. If you've been living under a rock and don't know, in 2020, D'Elia was accused by many women of grooming them and soliciting explicit pictures, some claiming they were as young as 16 at the time of the alleged incident. There were also allegations by at least 10 women, again some underage, that the diddler emotionally manipulated, abused, and coerced them into sex. Subsequently, a civil suit was filed accusing Chris of child exploitation and violation of CP laws. Essentially, D'Elia knowingly pursued and enacted relationships with a teenager, with a minor sending him more than 100 photos and videos, half of which would be categorized as CP. These are some pretty serious allegations, like no wonder the dude has aged 10 years in the last 3. But all of this brought to light how many Freudian slips he's had in the past. Like, there are so many instances of this dude low-key outing himself as a pedo, and looking back, it's kinda crazy, which is why I wanted to make this video. Like, I kept coming across clips of him saying some really suspicious stuff that has a whole new meaning now that the allegations have been made. So in this video, I'll be showing you the diddler having Freudian slips left, right, and center, him playing a literal chooch on multiple TV shows, and how many comedians actually hinted at him being a creep well before the allegations broke. I will preface that these are just allegations so that the diddler doesn't come after me. If you like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Now let's get this show on the road. Roll the clip, Chin.
Hilarious. Like the Portuguese 12-year-old women, girls are ruthless.
Wait, what'd you say, Felix?
Those days are long gone. You ever see a fucking 14-year-old? She looks 30. I've never seen. There's no such thing as a 14-year-old girl anymore. They go from like 6 to 25.
What did you say?
He then proceeded to ask me for my Snapchat. I noticed a pattern with all the other stories, and he always quickly gives all of these victims his Snapchat.
Well, hold on a second. How did it come out? Like, how did they...
The boy's mother ended up finding it.
Finding haters. It? What do you mean? The Snapchat goes away, right? How they...
He probably saved it. You can screen record, take screenshots.
I don't know about you, but I've never accidentally referred to a 12-year-old child as a woman, or thought, yeah, that 14-year-old looks 25. This whole thing is kinda crazy because Chris was constantly surrounded by women, yet he chose to pursue underage girls because he perceived them to be young and innocent. You would think that a 30-year-old man would use his judgment and tell himself, hey, probably shouldn't even take the chance, it's not worth it. Like, he could literally get any other girl who wasn't in high school, but he chose not to. There's actual screenshots of him texting minors and admitting that he was too old for them, but then continuing to pursue them. He would also comment on pictures of high school girls, and this particular girl had just turned 17 and her high school was on her Instagram and Twitter page, both of which Chris was following. Now, that's not illegal, but definitely gives credence to the allegations and ongoing lawsuits. And you really have to do some serious mental gymnastics to justify this behavior. Oh, and for funsies, here's a clip of Chris talking about pedophilia.
They call it pedophile because that shit is crazy. Oh, well, okay, I'll explain it. If you fuck someone under, well, let's just be conservative, 17. I think that's the lowest it goes in America. And you're your age, then you would call it pedophilia because, well, it's pedophilia.
For the next part of this video, let's take a walk down the dark road that got the diddler method acting. The first clip is from the show You, where Chris plays himself.
It's still in progress, but...
Listen, we're friends, and it's cool. I mean, you're massively cool, but you're also 15, so we're not hanging out in my house alone. All right, fine, but you have to promise me you're not going to tell anybody that you were here alone with me, okay? Because it's kind of...
I get it.
And a twist of GHB for roofying the teenaged girl.
The fact that this guy took multiple roles playing a child molester is the thing that blows my mind the most. It's creepy watching these clips knowing what he's being sued for. Like, this guy felt so invincible that he was going out of his way to play these roles. Like in this next clip where Chris plays the diddler in Workaholics.
Yeah, but this guy, Bieberhole69, keeps sending me pictures of his dong because it thinks I'm a little boy.
Were you looking for him? Yo, you know what? I think maybe I have the wrong address, actually. Sorry, bro.
Look, Topher, we know what the deal is. Or should I call you Bieberhole69?
Bros before hoes, but you know, little bros before big bros.
This episode of Workaholics was actually taken down when the news about Chris's allegations came out, but the fact that he's said and done so many suspicious things, I can't help but think that at some level, it's his subconscious thoughts and feelings coming out. But that's just my armchair psychiatrist analysis. In this next clip, Defilia actually talks about people calling him out for playing these roles. Keep in mind, this was all before the allegations.
Hey, Chris D'Elia keeps playing a fucking pedophile. Twice! Name another time, dude. 2 times I played a pedophile. Once in You, and the other when I was on the show Whitney. And that's bullshit, dude. You can't name another one. That's so annoying when people say that. Somebody wrote, do you intentionally play pedophiles, or do you
That one didn't age quite so well.
This has literally been my face the whole time making this video. Like, I'm trying to keep it lighthearted, but it's hard knowing his extreme behaviors with minors. So the allegations of CP and the other things he did with minors are bad enough, but recently, more accusations have come forward, including Chris having multiple ongoing relationships with women even after he posted his 2021 apology video. He talks about wanting to lead a sex cult with a harem of women at his disposal, that he talked in terms of ownership of women's bodies and encouraged them to tattoo his initials on their necks. He would demand sexually explicit photos or videos from them, he would threaten self-harm if an accuser should come forward with allegations about him, and much more. Which makes this next clip of D'Elia joking about creating a cult all the more eerie.
Podcast is good. And you know what? I stopped making a podcast because I'm not in the podcast business.
Yeah, you are.
I have a cult. My goal is to get this podcast going so much so that I have followers, and then we go to a log cabin and we chill out and we sit down
for the rest of your life.
And we learn and we talk about humanity and we share ideas.
And then it came out he was raping like 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds.
Yeah, what a surprise! A cult leader raping underage girls. Never heard of that before. That's why they start a cult.
Oh, really, dude?
It's just so crazy that this guy was probably doing these fucked up things while openly joking about them as hypotheticals. What makes it worse is that other comedians joked about Chris and his underage fans before the allegations, making me think that they may have known something that others didn't. But again, that's just a hypothetical and not proof of anything.
Rob Chris. You know, you go see him, pretend you're a fan, go, oh, dude, I love your stand-up.
Yeah.
Psych. Gun out.
Oh, I'm gonna dress up like
up.
a 17-year-old girl, dude. Go into his place, fuck him, and then steal a bunch of shit.
Wait. He doesn't fuck underage girls though.
No, dude. No. I'll have just turned 18 that morning.
That was your birthday. Chris is so far from being a pedophile. Everyone should know this on the internet. By the way, he won't fuck someone under 60.
Yeah.
No chance. I've never seen Chris hanging out with a woman under 60 in my entire life.
He's Justin Bieber's favorite comic, which is why he has "duh" in the middle of his name. Please welcome future rapist Chris D'Elia. Yeah.
Trust those motherfuckers.
And Chris D'Elia's cult, bro?
I don't trust them either.
That ain't gonna end well. That thing is gonna end
with everyone drinking Kool-Aid except Chris, and everyone dies.
Well, a lot of the people are gonna be drinking Kool-Aid because they're underage girls, probably. That's why I'm guessing. It's just in their natural diet pattern. But
I don't know, man. This whole thing is pretty fucked up, and his apology video was so disingenuous where he acted like the victim. He was basically like, oh, woe is me, I'm a sex addict, and had like 50 girls after every show texting me, and I cheated on my wife. Like, bro, the problem isn't you banging chicks after your shows. The problem is that you're a fucking creep who was grooming high schoolers and exposed himself to multiple women. Chris went on to claim in his video that every relationship has been legal and consensual, but pulling your dick out randomly in front of fans, actresses, and hotel maids isn't exactly consensual, bro. His whole persona is just creepy, like him calling his fan babies. The guy couldn't even come up with in-jokes that didn't sound like creepy child grooming. You don't start talking to minors by accident, and no grown-ass man with good intentions has any reason to be messaging a random high schooler, let alone multiples of them. Again, you really have to be doing some Olympic-level mental gymnastics to rationalize this shit. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And Chris, I'm on to you, bro.
I can't. All I'm trying to do is get to the point where I can be an action star. That's my dream, bro.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time.
Is to fuck up the internet and just play a Japanese guy with no makeup and have people just irate about it. Well, why didn't they get a real Japanese guy to do that? Well, because Chris D'Elia is a big star.
No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction.
And we thought he was going to get the fucking box office. And I did, because, and I want to get nominated for a Golden Globe, and that's it. No Oscar.
It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer. Not this time. It never happened.